The park was empty, but the cars weren't. If you think you'll sleep fine after this, prove it. Hit subscribe, drop "I'm still awake" in the comments, and remember, you're volunteering to hear this. They still call it the Loop case. No one was killed on camera. No one confessed. And yet, every detective who worked that file swears the same thing. Those kids should not be alive. On a humid Saturday night in late summer, 3 friends left a birthday party in a quiet American suburb. Liam, Marco, and Becca were the kind of teenagers you barely notice. Average grades, part-time jobs, more interested in cheap pizza than trouble. They weren't looking for anything dangerous. They just wanted somewhere to be loud where no one would yell at them. They chose the same place everyone did, Ridgeview Park. The park sat on a hill above town, split into 2 sections. The Overlook, with its safe benches and pretty view of the city lights, and farther in, a circular dead-end road locals called the Loop. Officially, it was a service road for maintenance trucks. Unofficially, it was where teenagers went to drink, light fireworks, and pretend they weren't scared of the dark. Around 11:30 p.m., after complaints from neighbors, the birthday host's parents kicked most of the crowd out. The 3 of them piled into Liam's old Honda, Roman candles rattling in a grocery bag at their feet. They laughed their way up the hill, turned away from the Overlook, and rolled the car to a stop just outside the chain that marked the entrance to the Loop. They left the car on the street, in case anything goes wrong, as Liam joked. Later, he would repeat that line to detectives 3 separate times, as if he could not believe how right he'd been. The Loop was darker than they expected. Street lamps along the circle were dead or dim, and tall pines swallowed what little light the town threw up at them. The sky. As they walked down the winding asphalt drive, they noticed parked cars, 3 of them, spaced out along the cul-de-sac. No engines, no music, no windows rolled down. Just silhouettes of vehicles facing different directions, like they had been carefully arranged. They told themselves people were just hooking up, hiding from parents. It was summer. It was normal. Then, somewhere behind them in the dark, an engine turned over without headlights. The sound echoed off the trees, a low growl swallowed by leaves. Marco turned. "Did you guys see that?" A pickup truck that had been completely silent near the entrance rolled forward, still dark, creeping along the asphalt. It passed the first parked car, then the second, slow enough that they could hear gravel under its tires, but not fast enough to seem like it was leaving. It reached the far side of the Loop, paused, and swung into a tight U-turn. Now its hood was pointed directly at them. Becca's voice shook when she later described what happened next. The truck stopped, engine idling. The cab stayed black. No door opened. No window rolled down. But they all had the same sudden, nauseating certainty. Whoever was inside was looking straight at them. "Let's just go back," Liam muttered. They took a step toward the tree line to pretend they were just cutting across. That was when the truck's headlights snapped on, high beams blasting the quiet circle with harsh white light. The glare pinned them like animals, and as their eyes adjusted, they realized something else. The 3 parked cars around the Loop were not empty at all. Behind each fogged windshield, someone was sitting perfectly still, and every single head had turned toward them. For a second, nobody moved. Then the truck's horn blared, long and angry, shattering the silence. Liam flinched. Marco swore under his breath. Becca grabbed Liam's sleeve. "Run," she whispered. They bolted toward the trees. Gravel sprayed behind them as the truck lurched forward, tires grinding over the curb. Branches whipped their faces as they stumbled down the slope into the woods. The high beams carved through the first line of trees, turning trunks into pale vertical bars. The horn kept blaring in short, furious bursts, like whoever was inside was trying to flush them out. "Off the path," Marco hissed. "Get off the path." There was no real path, just patches of dirt between thorny bushes and waist-high grass. They crashed through anyway. Somewhere above them, engines revved. More headlights winked on at the top of the slope. "Why are there so many cars?" Becca gasped. No one answered. The question was too big. They dropped into a shallow gully hidden by brush. Mud sucked at their shoes. Liam shoved them down behind a fallen log, lungs burning. For a moment, there was only their breathing and the distant hum of the town below. Then, voices, male, low, too calm for how hard Liam's heart was pounding. He heard doors slam shut. Footsteps slid down the slope, crunching leaves, deliberate and unhurried. Flashlight beams cut through the undergrowth, swinging back and forth like they already knew roughly where the kids were. "Don't move," Liam mouthed. Someone above them laughed, not loud, more like a breathy exhale. A beam of light skimmed the top of the log and kept going. Another set of footsteps approached from the right, boxing them in. "See anything?" one man called. "Not yet," another answered. His voice was closer than it should have been. They didn't get far. Liam's phone vibrated in his pocket. He cursed silently, clawed it out, and slammed HHE. Liam stared at the ringing burner phone like it was alive. None of them moved. None of them breathed. The screen pulsed with each vibration against the metal hood. Too calm, too intentional. Marco shook his head. "Don't touch it." But the ringing stopped on its own, then started again. Same unknown number, same deliberate cadence, like someone on the other end knew they were standing there frozen. Becca stepped back toward the street. "We should leave it. We should run, now." Before anyone could act, the phone clicked over to voicemail on speaker. A man's voice spilled out, smooth, steady, as if he were talking from just across the road. "You're going to pick up the next call." Silence. Then, "And if you don't, we'll pick you up instead." The message ended. The three of them stood in the glow of a dying street lamp, the night pressing in. Liam swallowed hard and reached for the phone. His hand shook. The moment his fingers brushed the plastic, the phone rang again. He answered. No greeting, no threat, just breathing, slow and measured, like it was being counted. "Why are you doing this?" Liam whispered. The breathing paused. Then the voice returned, lower now, almost disappointed. "You shouldn't have come into the loop." Marco grabbed the phone from his hand. "We didn't do anything. Who are you?" The man ignored the question. "3 cars," he said. 6 people. You saw them. That's 6 too many." The call ended abruptly. The phone flickered, then died. Becca was already running. "Get in the car. We can roll it downhill. Just go." They piled in. Liam dropped the dead burner phone on the floor. With shaking hands, he released the parking brake and let gravity take them down the hill. The Honda picked up speed, coasting silently. No headlights behind them, no engines, no shouting. But halfway to the main road, Liam saw something in the side mirror. His thumb on the side button to silence it. For one horrible second, the tiny glow of the screen leaked between his fingers. A flashlight froze. "There!" A voice snapped. The beam swung back, hitting the log full on. Dirt, bark, Becca's shoulder, Marco's shoe. The light stopped just short of Liam's face. Before it could angle lower, another engine roared to life near the entrance road. Someone shouted something angry from up top. The flashlight jerked away. "Leave it," the closer man said. "They'll come out eventually." Their footsteps retreated, slower this time, like they were in no hurry at all. The truck horn blared once, then cut. It was 15 agonizing minutes before Liam dared to move. By then, the engines had faded, the lights gone. His legs were numb. His brain felt like it was buzzing. "We have to go back to the road," Becca whispered. "Get to the car before they come back." By the time they clawed their way out of the gully and limped through the trees, their clothes were streaked with dirt. The loop above looked empty again, just a quiet circle of asphalt and blank street lamps. Their Honda was still where they left it. "Keys," Marco said. "Hurry." Liam patted his pockets. Back, front, jacket. His stomach dropped through the pavement. His keys were gone. So was his phone, and sitting neatly on the Honda's hood, as if someone had placed it there with care, was a single object that did not belong to any of them. A cheap disposable phone, lit up. its screen already ringing with an incoming call from an unknown number. Flicker, a silhouette at the edge of the trees, tall, motionless, watching the car glide away. When they reached the first intersection, Liam slammed the engine on and peeled toward downtown. They didn't stop until they reached a gas station still bright with fluorescent lights and people. A place that felt safe. They told the police everything, every voice, every car, every flashlight beam, and officers went to investigate immediately. But the report came back the same night. No cars, no truck tracks, no footprints down the slope, no signs of recent activity in the loop at all. The officers found the fallen log the kids had hidden behind, but no disturbances, no crushed grass, nothing to show anyone had been there. Detectives checked nearby street cams. The footage showed Liam's Honda arriving, parking, and the three of them walking toward the loop. But no other cars entered the area. Not before, not during, not after. Even worse, the camera overlooking the entrance glitched the moment the kids walked out of frame. 10 full minutes of pure static, before suddenly clearing as they ran back into the street, terrified. There was no recording of anyone following them. The case was marked no visible threat, no leads, no further action. It was closed within 48 hours. But there was one detail the officer didn't tell the kids until much later. One of the body cams caught something when they first arrived at the loop that night. A reflection in a distant window of one of the parked maintenance sheds. A figure, unmoving, hood pulled low, standing perfectly still with his head tilted in the direction of the camera. The timestamp was 14 minutes before the kids ever entered the woods. Whoever the kids saw, whoever hunted them, he wasn't reacting to them. He was waiting for them. To this day, Ridgeview Park is normal. Families jog, dogs run, teenagers hang out under the street lamps like they always did. But no one uses the loop anymore. The cul-de-sac sits empty, quiet, and strangely untouched. Park staff avoid it. Cops drive past it. Maintenance crews say the lights keep burning out no matter how many times they replace them. As for Liam, Marco, and Becca, they left town as soon as they could. They don't talk about it, they don't visit home, and none of them ever walk through a park at night. Because they all remember that final voicemail recording. The calm voice, the slow breathing, the promise that wasn't a threat, but a fact. You shouldn't have come into the loop. And they know, if they ever go back, someone will be waiting. If you thought this story was intense, just wait for the next one. Subscribe so you don't miss it.